it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. And this week we have
Dark beer.
a dark beer, yes indeedy. But I'm not going to tell Mike what it is just yet because we did discuss this earlier in the year. It was kind of a disappointment, but I want him to taste it and just, I've spoiled it already. I want him to taste it and get kind of his sense on it. You know, I just want to get his notes without knowing anything really about it outside of, hey, I'm looking at this. It's fairly dark. Some ruby notes when I hold it up to the light.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
You know, that's
It's
nice.
clear, it's super clear.
Super clear. Nice, nice malty aroma. I like that. A little chocolatey.
I'd take my glasses off for this one. I gotta think it.
Okay, get ready. Anyway, this was something I brewed earlier this year, and we talked about it, and I was wondering how it was going to turn out. Without giving too much detail, I want Mike to experience it and just get his impressions about it. Because to me, that's how this beer is going to be judged in competition. And even though I know a lot of information about this beer, a judge will not. And will a judge taste and sense and understand all the things that I'm trying to put forth in it without knowing maybe some of the crucial details of this particular beer? So, have you tasted enough to start talking a little bit about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you talk more about it, I'm going to enjoy this beer that I brewed.
So, I'm digging the aroma. I'm into the aroma. The aroma is there's some subtle biscuit note. I get like a strong, just wet malt aroma. There's a little bit of like a wet paper smell. But there's almost like a hazelnut chocolate, like a Nutella thing going on there. But not like sweet. It's that part's like why I keep smelling it is I'm trying to get more of that chocolate and hazelnut aroma.
Interesting.
Out of it. That's pretty interesting. The very first sip, I don't know, my palate is off, but the first sip was weird. The second sip though, I started to adjust to it. So there's definitely a dark crystal-like character to it. Almost, it seems, and then there's like I get like a subtle stone fruit. There's still a good like brown bread flavor component to the malt. Yeah, the body is it's medium. It's not like a big body, so. But it's, other than that, the fermentation character is pretty clean. I think all the flavors I'm getting, even the sweet flavors, are dark roast. It's not an aggressive roast, but there's a dark malt character and there's like a caramel character to it. That's nice, but it's not super sweet. But it's clean. The finish is clean. Makes me feel like this is like just a black lager or dark Schwartz beery thing. Black Pilsner.
Are you feeling any warming?
There is, in the early aromas, I thought maybe there was like some alcohol aroma to it. Maybe that's what some of that crystal character is that I'm getting.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a coffee component to it too.
I don't know how you love coffee.
I know.
All right. The mystery is going to be pulled away. The shroud is being pulled off. This is my Baltic Porter.
Yep.
This is the one where I felt like I missed my starting gravity by like 30 points.
Yeah.
But do you think there's enough complexity here to pull it off?
There's definitely a fair amount of complexity in this beer.
Okay.
But for Baltic Porter,
and I haven't had a lot of Baltic Porters.
I'm not sure if it's like bold enough. It almost, I would love to see this submitted as a Baltic Porter. But I think it would be really interesting as a Schwartz beer.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think it's way too
characterful for that. I don't know. I think I feel that way only because it's not characterful enough on the other thing, right?
See, I am getting a lot of like the caramel sweetness.
Yeah, no, there's like a Crystal 80 component.
And that's why I
almost to it
think-
that's
I
pretty
think-
good. Is there
I-
Crystal 80 in this?
Hold on a second. There's Special B.
Okay, so it's like 120, 150.
Yep, it's 120. And there's a lot of Munich in it.
Mm.
And
That's there's like a leathery tobacco thing on the
Yeah.
aroma too, a little bit.
There's a little bit of Crystal 60. So actually, half pound in a 5-gallon batch. Half pound of Crystal 60, half pound of Special B.
Okay.
Little
Well, good.
bit
I'm
of-
glad I nailed the caramel
You got
crystal
it.
flavor.
You got it, bro.
component.
And then the Munich malt. See, that's the maltiness.
Munich is a
that-
strange
Yes, it is
malt,
strange,
you know. It's something I need to really focus.
Get better
I
at.
usually throw like 20% into a pale ale, but you don't really, you know. Really focusing on Munich is something that we need to do.
I think if I threw this in as a Schwarzbier, I think people would mark me down like, this is
It might be way
way...
too, yeah.
Yes, there's way too much going on in this.
I don't know. You might be surprised.
Dude, no.
It's got the color for it. It's the ruby is great.
I know.
I don't know. I think you put it in both and see what happens.
I'll do it just for you, but when I get like crappy score sheets back, I'm
You know,
framing you.
if you weren't going to do that,
I'll frame
you
it
know, you
and
should
put it on your
also
wall.
submit it into like a brown porter
Yeah.
category, right?
Really?
Or you know what?
I don't think it's fruity enough.
This came in a little bit low on your OG, right?
Yep.
But it's still
Little
pretty
bit.
big, right?
It's still, it's sort of big.
You could probably get away with putting this in as a dark mild. The flavors really are. I bet if you put it in as a dark mild, because I'm not really getting alcohol off of it.
I'm feeling a lot of.
Are
Now,
you?
Maybe just me.
I
but
know
I'm feeling
if judges
warmth.
were only dealing with like 4-ounce sample,
Are they going to get enough warmth out of it? I don't think so. Like,
which would be great. So they would think it's a lower ABV beer and it would be a dark mild.
all right, I'd like to do this test.
Yeah.
I would like to do this test. I want to put it in as a Baltic Porter, but also something else. And if you're thinking,
I would take a hard look at that whole
And then
like
see where I could-
dark British, brown British beers.
and just
And
jam
I
it in
bet
there.
this would, because the crystal character would really put it over there. I mean, put it in as your Baltic Porter, but I'm telling you, the crystal malt's giving you enough fruit character.
Dude,
that
I'm down.
It would pull off as an English yeast drink.
I'm down.
I love it. I think it's great.
So as we've talked about with these high gravity beers, even though this isn't much high gravity, there's a portion of it that I'm putting in my fridge, and that tends to keep the richness of the flavor
Yeah.
profile intact. But then if I leave it at basement temperatures, it dries it out. So I wonder
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
say, hey, you two bottles, you're going to become my dark mild,
Yeah.
and then see how it goes on. Or am I just...
Yeah.
Or am I screwing up the experiment because I'm also like trying?
If the category
to get there.
still existed, this
Yeah.
could probably pass off as a Southern English brown.
Really?
But I think they kind of retired that category.
It's so dark, man.
That's the point. Southern
Yeah.
English brown is dark. It's sweet.
Is it? Yeah.
You know, maybe you could pass this off as a tropical stout, foreign export stout. You know, one of those two.
Nah.
It's got a lot of potential. This is where like the lines blur.
All right. I know it's very.
It depends on what you call
subtle.
it. Is what you know.
I know.
I would sit down in a quiet place, which is impossible. We were talking about this, but anyway, you sit down in a quiet place with like the BJCP categories. Like
Yeah.
pull out the ones that you think are like candidates.
Mhm.
Taste it and directly look at the BJCP descriptors. And I bet you'd even start to then convince yourself, you know what, this could be a dark mild.
All right.
I think it's got a beautiful roasted note
Yep.
and enough, a great amount of caramel character
Yep.
that it has a dark mild feel to it.
All right. We're tasting it warm. That's one thing. All right. So I think above all, you've given me an assignment.
Yeah.
I'm still going to submit this as a
Yeah.
Baltic Porter,
Right.
but I'm going to find
one of those
another
other weird-ass categories.
I'm going
Yeah.
to find another category, and we'll see what happens.
Czech Pilsner. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll find one that's more suitable.
Yeah.
And we'll submit it,
See what-
and we'll see what happens, and then we'll do a follow up. It's going to be probably in October.
Yeah. So just wait patiently.
Yeah,
Buy your
there's a
computers.
couple of competitions I love submitting to. The New England Regional Homebrewing Competition is something I always try to get into. I missed the Boston one, which stinks. But I believe there's a Southern New England one that's around the same time, and I think that's the one I'm going to submit to. So maybe I've revealed my hand. Maybe those judges are watching. It doesn't matter because you won't know what you're tasting. But I'm going to try something, and we'll see what happens. We'll get the results. I'll read them out loud here on camera, and we'll see what you think.
Yeah.
If I get higher scores on robust, I'm sorry, not robust, on Baltic Porter,
Yeah.
than the other weird one. Who knows? Maybe like
Who knows?
maybe a robust porter. I could try that and see what happens.
Maybe. I don't think there's enough roast for that. But
Got it. All right. Well,
But you never know. Just put it in
I
7
haven't-
categories.
I only have
Okay.
I only have a few bottles that I actually set aside for.
All right, we'll have to think about it off camera and find the best one.
That's okay. I have the
I'm gonna-
assignment
Now I'm curious. I'm going to start looking at the categories again and think
because
about it.
I've got a few months to figure this out. All right.
Sweet.
But I'm overall, guys. If you don't hit something like a starting gravity that you're happy with, certainly you're happy with this beer, right?
Yeah,
If
I
you
would.
got
Yeah,
this
I'd
beer,
drink this
you'd be
beer.
like-
Yeah,
You probably have at least 2, and then when you got totally wasted,
yeah. I'd be. This isn't a dark mile.
because I think eventually this is going to hit you. I'm feeling some warmth off of this.
When I get up tomorrow for work, I'll be like, oh, that dark mile.
That was not a good choice. All right, so that's the assignment. Stay tuned. We always try to follow up on this stuff, even though it's months away. But we'll try to link videos. It's pretty sweet. All right, for John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. I am again out of beer, but brew on.
Cheers.